Generally, I'm a night owl, something I can afford because of my health, but I enjoy going for walks and runs at night on my property, a 2-acre, but the back is mostly in use with a nice hill on it that gives you a view of our property and the neighbors, a carpenter business. There is a large field on the other side, and when the moon is out, which is common for where we live, it illuminates the night well enough that you can see after allowing your eyes to adjust after a few minutes. One particular night, I'm out running up on our trails, and as I'm on top of the hill looking over the properties, I can't remember if I was switching songs on my iPod or just taking a breather, but I'm standing up there looking over both properties. It's a nice view, so it isn't uncommon for me to do so. As I'm looking this, I notice what appears to be a glowing ball, about slightly larger than a basketball, descending from the sky. We've had our share of unusual sightings, but never something like this. My immediate thoughts turned to excitement as I believed I was looking at ball lightning. At the time I knew of it, and whenever hearing it discussed, always had a curiosity and apprehension towards the phenomena. My lucky night then that I'm far enough away that it can't reach me, but close enough to see it clearly. It descends into my neighbor's property, getting about maybe 8 feet from the ground, below the roofline. As the buildings are all warehouse-sized structures, it emits a beam of light, like a flashlight. It's floating about, still very visible, shining a light on things as if it was looking for something. It became obvious at this point I was not looking at ball lightning, but more importantly the idea sank in that this thing, whatever it was in fact looking for me, but had gotten the properties wrong. I can't say why I thought that, but that was the thought that popped into my head at the time. Now some will claim it was flashlights, but I've seen flashlights on his property before. Good flashlights, to the point I immediately called the police, believing people were breaking into his property. Hilariously, the people I'd seen after the call went out were revealed to be the police themselves checking on the place, something they don't do often. I can tell what a good flashlight looks shining off the buildings. It looks very movie-like, but it never casted a light that formed a ball. This ball was also the source of the light as it coned away from the ball, and the way it moved reminds me of a drone from a movie. Upon seeing this, I bolted for my house and cut my exercise for the night short, but I did something smart. I went and told my brother, who was also up, what I'd seen. I told him in detail, and I can't remember, but I'm fairly certain we both agreed on not going outside to see if it was still there for reasons that would be obvious to anyone reading this. I'm not a fan of people who say they didn't tell anyone. When I see something weird, I tell people.